This guy is just about ready to give up, because he feels like he has tried every single tactic to get people to realize he's worthy of being accepted and valued. But he just doesn't feel that from anybody he talks to. It started out when he was a young child. Growing up, he never felt as though he fit into any friend group. His golden opportunity came during lunch in school when everybody was divided into the respective cliques. You'd have the popular girls who would sit with some of the popular guys, the nerds, the weird girls, and the people that were somewhat in the middle between popular and nerdy. After repeating in the mirror countless times what he would say to the table he wanted to sit at, which was, of course, the popular kids, he was ready to put this into practice. He trembled as he grabbed his lunch tray tightly, which was filled with an unidentified meat, microwave vegetables, and a slice of pizza. But miraculously, he started putting one leg in front of the other and made his way to the table. Each step towards that intimidating circle of people he always highly respected and wanted to be a part of felt like an hour. But eventually, he was just a few short steps away. When he finally reached the table, he nervously introduced himself. Hey guys, I was wondering if I could sit with you? The faces of each member of the table were now all turned towards the boy. A brief silence occurred, followed by a chuckle. Some of the boys started laughing, which caused the nicest popular girl to turn to them and say, "Would you guys shut up?" The same girl then said, "I'm sorry, our table is pretty full right now, but maybe next time." "Oh, yeah, next time. Okay, next time." Those words gave him an illusion of hope that he would willingly take part of for the next several days. After a few days had passed, he thought he'd give it another shot. Feeling much more confident of the outcome of this interaction, he strutted towards the lunch table like he had just won a gold medal at the Olympics. He smiled as he looked at each individual face of the table, as he said, "You mind if I sit with you guys?" This time, there was no laughter. He didn't feel like he was getting made fun of. He was ready for a positive response. "Listen, dude," one of the boys said. "The only reason Molly said maybe next time was because she didn't want to hurt your feelings. None of us want you to sit here, capiche? Try the nerd kids. Maybe you'll fit in better with them." Terror struck through the young boy's heart. He looked to the girl who had given him false hope, but she wouldn't even make eye contact with him. She just stared down towards her legs. As he felt his throat constrict, on the verge of tears, the boy quickly turned away and walked off without saying anything. His morale was empty, his confidence shattered, and his self-worth collapsed. He then proceeded to sit at a small table by himself, slowly eating his food, regretting that he ever even tried to fit in and make people realize he's worthy of being hung out with. Maybe this story hits home to your current situation or childhood, or maybe you're like me and you've had friends throughout your life, but you felt like for a while that they just didn't value you as a person. Being the rather shy, weird kid in my group who didn't get the best grades, I didn't have anything that I could show off to make it seem like I was worth valuing in the first place. I had no sense of style. What are those? I was pretty average looking, and I lacked the same deep passions as most of the kids who were highly praised. But all of that started to change when I decided to make this YouTube channel. Well, actually it started off changing in the wrong way. When I made a post on my Instagram announcing that I would be making a YouTube channel, and especially one based around me teaching people how to improve themselves, people's perception of me definitely started to get skewed. Who the hell is this awkward 20-year-old kid to tell other people how they should change their posture to be confident?
The way I usually stand, just to make myself look more attractive, is kind of lean on one foot like this. I don't know.
People who were from my high school, parents, and people who I kind of knew but weren't really close with started to laugh at me. My parents have always been supportive about it, but they didn't even really understand either. For the next couple of years, I had to put up with this type of behaviors from others. But as soon as I started seeing the fruits of my labor materialize into reality, and my channel started to grow rapidly through my unique storytelling and relatability, I felt people were finally understanding my worth. Now, why have I explained these stories to you? Because they are going to be crucial as to why most people don't value you as a person right now. It'll help you to understand the reasons that I've come to realize, but at a much deeper level. And the first reason that I want to go over is impact. Basically, what type of impact have you made on people in a positive way, and how many people have you moved? I'm sure that many of you, like me, want to see success in whatever creative endeavor you're trying to pursue, and maybe that's to make meaningful content and share it to the world in a way that moves people. One of the most important aspects to moving people and engaging their deepest emotions is through sound. When I started to invest in not just the visual aspect, but the audio aspect of my videos, the effect that they had on others and the way that they viewed my videos, and therefore how they viewed me, increased dramatically. And one of the best ways to do that is through using my favorite platform for royalty-free music and sound effects, which is Artlist. In fact, I've been using Artlist for the music and sound effects that you've heard in this video thus far. If you're a creator online, it's likely that you've struggled with finding the right music and sound effects that capture the mood that you're trying to bring out of people. Maybe it's the one thing that stopped you from getting started with creating content and making an impact on people. Artlist solves that problem for you completely. They have thousands of songs and sound effects to choose from, and you'll never have to worry about getting hit with a copyright strike, so you can always monetize your content. Their intuitive navigation makes it easy to find the perfect selection of songs for your content, whether you're making something that's uplifting, epic, a documentary, or vlog. Add another layer on top of your production value by adding their sound effects to your videos, and you are sure to have made a work of art that stands out above others. Artlist has a brand new subscription plan called a personal plan, which is tailored to social media creators. And that plan comes with the entire music and sound effects catalog on their website. It's only $9.99 a month when billed annually, or $14.99 a month when billed monthly. If you choose to buy annually, which I highly suggest if you're really serious about investing in your creative pursuit, then this is the cheapest platform that I know of. And if you sign up for Artlist's annual personal plan using the link in my description, you will get 2 extra months completely for free. Please go take advantage of this new offer. This is a must for every creator and creative out there, and thank you to Artlist for making such great music and sound effects and for sponsoring this video. Alright, let's dive a little bit deeper into what I mean by impact. Let's try to think of life like a video game, because technically it is just a really advanced video game. We all start out as level 1 having little to no attributes or education, but some of us get lucky and spawn into the game with characteristics or upbringings that make it easier for us to level up in life and have a high worth. And that's usually the case for getting into the clique of the popular kids young in life. Like, those are the kids that usually have good genes and things come easy for them and they just have the right connections. While you can't control these variables that you get when you spawn in, you can control what you build in this lifetime. Yes, it might be much more difficult for you to get to a point where you're highly valued by others, but it's definitely possible. First of all, most of you on this channel are around the age of 20, which means you just spawned in. Like, you're just getting your feet wet into the real world, and everything you've experienced so far has been what, like, your parents have told you, or you've been too heavily influenced by other people, and like now you're just starting to get into adult life and build skills. And so you're supposed to be at a low level. You haven't completed enough quests or grinded for a long enough time to make a huge impact and make people realize your worth. And that is totally fine. But even if you are watching this at an old age, the same principles apply here. You need to be completely honest with yourself and ask yourself, how many people's lives have you made a huge impact in? How much value have you given to other people and the world so far in your life? And by me saying this, you might be thinking that like, oh, this is people pleasing, but no, this is far from being a people pleaser. I'm not telling you to get stepped on and taken advantage of just so you get attention from others. I mean taking care of yourself in a healthy way and building yourself up somehow so you can share what you've learned and applied onto yourself with others. And it does start with yourself. When people started to realize my worth was when I first started to realize my worth and what I was capable of, and then I matched my actions with how I felt about myself. Because I didn't have the lucky advantages that some people get when they spawn into life, which is probably what happened to you too, I had to grind the levels of my interests for years in the dark so I could produce something of high value for others. And it started with fitness. I was a skinny ass kid my whole life and knew nothing about the topic of fitness. But then I educated myself, I kept showing up, getting better each time, and eventually I built a solid physique for myself. I then decided to share that progress and information through Instagram by giving people informative posts through my captions and different meal ideas. Through the amount of value that I was giving to others through my expertise, people finally started to see my worth. Then, as I improved in other areas of my life, mentally and spiritually, I started sharing my stories and what I learned through them here on YouTube. I became absolutely obsessed with editing and filmmaking. I loved to do it, and I became better than most people at it because of that. And then people started to realize my worth on YouTube. A little bit into my YouTube journey, I thought, why not help my friends with what they're trying to build? And on the side, I started making video promos and music videos for my friend's hip hop group. Eventually, due to how hard I was grinding my levels, I was creating some of the best videos like this in Buffalo. And by the way, I just dropped a new music video with my friends. If you want to check that out after this video, it'll be in the description. And those friends and parents who knew me, who once laughed at me and didn't treat me very highly, started to see me differently and treat me in a higher regard. The points that I'm trying to make with all of this is this. Most people aren't going to immediately see you when you start this game of life as high value. It's unfortunate, and I know it's not right, and I try to not treat people this way, but it is the hard truth. You must show them your worth through the grind that you're willing to put in. Think about when you see a really high-level user in a video game. They're dripped down from head to toe in good gear, and they can crush enemies that take you several minutes to kill in one hit. Do you respect and admire these high-level players because of what they have? No, you respect them for how hard they've worked to get there. You respect their dedication. You respect their impact. People buy mansions and fancy cars because they want the respect and admiration from others, but what they don't realize is that people don't admire the person with the fancy house or car. They admire the object and think of themselves as having that object. It has nothing to do with money, YouTube views or subscribers, or cars. Those just come as a byproduct of bringing so much value into the world. The problem is, the reason why most people don't get there is because they give up too early, because they don't have enough of a passion for it. Oh great, he said the word passion, now I have to think about this word again. Listen, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Passion almost never comes first. The more you get better at something is the more you develop a passion towards it because of how much time you've invested into it. People say, I have no passions, to which I say, yeah, because you haven't been doing the thing for long enough to develop a passion in it. You have to eat for a while, not enjoying the work as much as you potentially will, to get to the point where it really fuels your drive to continue it. But most people just don't do that. Now, there are some exceptions to everything that I've talked about here. What I've said so far more so applies to the general population. First exception is that some people, no matter what you do, are just not gonna like you or respect you. I don't know, that's a them problem. If you've never done anything wrong to them and they're just treating you like shit, like they're just a toxic person, and that's gonna happen and you gotta accept that. Other exception is you don't have to necessarily grind something out for years to get people to admire you, but rather just be selfless and give value. Like, it relates to impact, but in a way that you don't have to grind for years and years. Just be a selfless person. Also, there is absolutely a group of people out there that will see your potential and worth and value even before you've really created an impact on the world. And it's probably the people that you relate most to and the people who you're truly meant to be friends with. In the story that I told at the start of this video, it's likely that that boy didn't even fit in with the popular kids in the first place. As much as he wanted to be accepted by this specific group, it was just never going to happen simply because they don't share the same interests or hobbies or ways of thinking. Perhaps right now, you're trying to force yourself into a type of clique that is not meant for you, and so you say to yourself, if these specific type of people do not value me, then I don't have any value. Really ask yourself, why do I need to be valued by these types of people specifically? Well, that's because, especially when you're young, they're the people that most people look up to and want to be. And so you want to be that type of person. But if that causes you to be an inauthentic version of yourself and live a lie, do you really think that that is going to bring you long-lasting happiness, even if they do acknowledge and accept you? Listen, I've been there, and I can tell you that it doesn't. It's only a temporary fix. What you really need right now is to feel understood while you're on this journey of grinding to wherever you want to get at and building up your self-worth first. And that won't happen with the popular kids if that's not who you fit in with. And by the way, you know, it's fine being a popular kid. I have nothing against them. And it's fine to fit in with them if that's you. And please remember this. Never pursue something and dedicate yourself to it just because you want to be seen and have people realize your worth. Not only will you get easily discouraged, but it will feel like it's never enough, and you will never feel like you're enough if you do that. Do it because it brings others value and it leaves a positive impact. And by doing so, the acceptance and respect will come as a byproduct. Thank you to all the patrons on this channel on Patreon. If you don't know what this is, it's a platform separate from YouTube where I'm putting out exclusive content, and you can talk to me one-on-one over the phone on there. If you want to check that out, it's in the description below. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it helped. I hope I ran out of breath, but yeah, I hope it helped. I love you guys, and I'll see you very soon.